Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the staff, sponsors, and cadets, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 78th Annual Ceremony Review and the first ever virtual parade for 44 Sarnia Imperial Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron. This evening's ceremony will be to celebrate and recognize the dedication and hard work put in by our cadets over the course of this unusual training year. My name is Officer Cadet John Hemstreet, and I'll be serving as your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's event. Although there will be no formal parade for you to view, we will be capturing as many of the moments of the ceremony as we can, including hosting a reviewing officer. Our reviewing officer for this evening is Lieutenant Naval the Reverend Robert Parker, Senior Chaplain for 2nd Service Battalion. At this time, we would now like to play a short video outlining the history of the cadet program in 44. In 1940, World War II was raging on in Europe, and Britain was under heavy attack from the air. A plan to counter this air assault was developed. One component of the plan was to put it into place on November 19, 1940, when an order in council was passed to establish the Air Cadet League of Canada, to work in partnership with the Royal Canadian Air Force to form Air Cadet squadrons. On April 9, 1941, the Air Cadet League of Canada was granted its charter, allowing it to officially form cadet units. One such cadet unit, was 44 Squadron, was formed on November 1st of the same year. We are currently the 5th oldest squadron in Ontario, out of nearly 130, and are proud to have been serving the youth and residents of Sarnia and surrounding communities for nearly 80 years. The aims of the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Program are to develop in youth between the ages of 12 to 18 the attributes of good citizenship, leadership, to promote physical fitness, and to simulate an interest of youth in air activities of the Canadian Armed Forces. Our mission is to help the youth transition into adulthood and prepare them to take on the roles as our future leaders. Awesome. I would now like to share some information about the reviewing officer for today's parade, Lieutenant Naval Robert Parker. Born in Sarnia, Ontario in 1969, he moved around southwestern Ontario until moving to Saskatchewan in 1982. He graduated from Outlook High School in 1987. He returned to Sarnia, Ontario in 1989 and entered a refrigeration trade as an industrial refrigeration mechanic apprentice at the Imperial Oil Refinery. He joined the Canadian Armed Forces in November 2002 as a Marine Engineering Systems Operator with Naval Reserve Unit HMCS Prevost in London, Ontario. In September of 2003, he entered Huron University College at the University of Western Ontario in the Masters of Divinity program. In April of 2004, he was granted a trade transfer to the Canadian Forces Chaplain Branch as a RESO training chaplain. He was ordained as an Anglican priest in 2006. In 2008, he component transferred to the regular force and posted to CFB Borden. While at Borden, he served at the Canadian Forces School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, Canadian Forces School of Administration and Logistics, Canadian Forces Fire Academy, and many more. He was also the Chapel Life Coordinator for Trinity Protestant Chapel. In March of 2012, Padre Parker was posted to CFB Halifax and took up a position in the Fleet Office and prepared to deploy with several HMC ships. In 7 years of service in the fleet, he serviced on HMCS Persever, Iroquois, Saint Jean, Toronto, Athabascan, Charlottetown, and Halifax. He has deployed on 4 operations, twice on Operation Kirby, Artemis, and Renaissance. In 2019, Lieutenant Naval Parker was posted to 2nd Service Battalion in 22nd Mechanized Brigade Group in Petawawa as a senior chaplain. In July of this year, he'll be promoted to lieutenant commander and take up the position of senior base chaplain at CFB Winwright in Alberta. He has been awarded the General Campaign Star, Southwest Asia, Operational Service Medal, Humanis, Operation Service Medal, Expeditionary, and the Canadian Forces Decoration. Padre Parker is married to the Reverend Rachel Parker for 14 years and the proud father of 2 boys, Robert William, age 20, and Daniel John, age 19. Please pay your respects as we play the Canadian National Anthem. Thank you. I'd like to announce the key opponents held by our senior cadets this year. The Squadron Warrant Officer is Warrant Officer First Class Krista Bassett. The Squadron Deputy Warrant Officer is Warrant Officer Second Class Reese Cornelius. The Squadron Supernumerary Senior Cadet is Flight Sergeant Aidan Lafferty. The Flight Sergeant for number 1 flight is Flight Sergeant Cody Clays. And the Flight Sergeant for number 2 flight is Flight Sergeant Jacqueline Ahern Quinton. The dignitaries that would have conducted the inspection of the squadron, making up a reviewing party, are the Reverend Officer Lieutenant Naval Robert Parker, the Commanding Officer Captain Gita Mainville, the representative from the Air Cadet League of Canada, Ontario Provincial Committee, Board of Governor member Mr. Sid Thompson, the Sponge Security Chairperson, Miss Melody Gibson, the representative of the Regional Cadet Support Unit Central, Captain Vincent Steves, Zone Training Officer for Lambton Times. This part of the program is to recognize the cadets' efforts and present special awards. Normally, we recognize cadets' success in 2 parts, at an annual awards banquet and this ceremony. As we are not able to conduct the awards banquet this year, we will be presenting all forms of recognition tonight. But don't worry, we've taken steps to streamline this process. Under normal conditions, we would invite a dignitary to make these presentations, but that isn't feasible in this format. With successful completion of their proficiency level, most of our cadets have also satisfied their criteria to earn a promotion in rank. We will now present a list of our cadets in their rank as of today. Most of them, you will note, have increased in rank. However, a few are not eligible for promotion until the fall. Regular attendance and participation are key components of success in the cadet program. Each year, we recognize cadets who have participated in at least 90% of our mandatory program. Before we continue, we have a short message from Lieutenant Card, our training officer. We will be playing a few short videos throughout the ACR from our staff and cadets.
Hey 44 Air. It's been a very unique year this year. Hope everybody's doing well still. As you can see, I'm in my civilian attire getting ready to head out onto the bike. But I did want to say that I hope everybody has a great summer, and I hope to see everybody back in September. And I hope you do some recruiting over the summer as well. Find us more cadets to bring out and bring your friends with you. Have a great summer.
Thank you, Lieutenant Card. Our squadron conducts several optional programs. These programs run on different days of the week and serve to augment our cadets' experience. We want to recognize cadets from optional programs for their exemplary performance. We would like to recognize some cadets who have participated in our band program. The Captain P.A. McElroy Memorial was created to recognize the cadet appointed as the drum major for the squadron band. This year's drum major and recipient is Flight Sergeant Andrew McCulley. The recipient for the Most Improved Band Cadet Award is Flight Corporal Arushi Rawat. The recipient of the Top Band Cadet Award is Flight Sergeant Isaac Mitchell. We would like to recognize some cadets who have participated in our drill team program. The recipient for the Most Improved Drill Team Cadet Award is this year, our drill team was conducted as the drill team commander. It was Warrant Officer 2nd Class Lafferty. There we go. My apologies. As we were, the recipient for the Most Improved Drill Team Cadet Award is Flight Corporal Rowe. The Nathan Kingston Memorial Award is presented to the top drill team cadet. This year's recipient is Sergeant Mason Beauvais. We run an active marksmanship program within the squadron. The recipient for the Best Shot in the Squadron Award is Flight Sergeant Scott Thomas. One of the aims of the Canadian Cadet Organization is to promote physical fitness. We would like to recognize the cadet who best exemplified physical fitness throughout the year by presenting them with the Top Physical Training Cadet Award. This year's recipient is Sergeant Griffin Preska. At this time, we would like to play a short message from Captain Shand, our Deputy Commanding Officer.
Greetings, 44 Sarnia Imperial Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron. I hope this message finds you well and safe. We're all getting a bit anxious these days, spending more time than usual at home. I'd like to encourage you to find a way to stay physically active. Plan with intent to do something each day to improve your physical condition. Go for a walk, go for a run, ride your bike, dance, ride a horse. Anyway, until we meet again, stay safe and well and healthy. Maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times a day.
Thank you, Captain Chan. The S. Earl Don Memorial Award is presented to the most improved cadet. This year's recipient is Sergeant Ethan Sareva. The Keith Murray Perseverance of Flight Bursary, sponsored by the Canadian Owners and Pilots Association, Flight 7 Sarnia, and Huron Flight Services, was created to recognize cadets who have demonstrated a passion for the aviation and the perseverance to pursue their interest. This year, 3 cadets have been awarded the bursary. The recipients are Flight Corporal Kai Burden, Flight Corporal Rowe, and Sergeant Sareva. The Royal Canadian Air Force Association 403 Ring Trophy is presented to the outstanding first-year cadets. The runner-up recipient of this year is Corporal Jordan Bidley. This year's top cadet recipient is Corporal Arden Henry. The Dave Harding Trophy presented to the outstanding second-year cadet. This year's recipient is Flight Corporal Maxwell Allison. The Donald, Claire, and Jack Tane Trophy is presented to the outstanding third-year cadet. This year's recipient is Sergeant Jamie McCulley. The 44 Squadron Trophy is presented to the outstanding fourth-year cadet. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Isaac Mitchell. The Frank J. Miller Memorial Trophy is presented to the outstanding fifth-year cadet. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Ahern Quinton. The Bomber Command Association Canada No. 2 Squadron Sarnia Lambton Award is presented to the outstanding sixth-year cadet. This year's recipient is Warrant Officer First Class Krista Bassett. The Joe Munday Memorial Award is presented to the most outstanding air cadet. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Ahern Quinton. The Dave Salmons Memorial Award is presented to the cadet who has demonstrated top esprit de corps. The plaque accompanying a sword stand as a memorial to Captain Dave Salmons, a former cadet of 44 Squadron who served with the Canadian Armed Forces as a Hercules pilot with 436 Squadron. David lost his life in the line of duty during a search and rescue mission in a C-130 Hercules. The sword was presented to the squadron at an awards banquet in April 1982 by his parents, Milt and Myrtle Salmons. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Ahern Quinn. The R.W. Mathers Award for the 44 Squadron Warrant Officer was created to recognize the cadet appointed to the highest position within the squadron. This year's recipient is Warrant Officer First Class Krista Bassett. At this time, we would like to play a message from our SCC Chair, Melody Gibson.
Well, hello, 44 Squadron. So nice to see you. We've missed you. It's Mrs. Gibson, your sponsoring committee chair here, and I want to let you know that everyone on your sponsoring committee is wishing you the very best for you and your family, and we hope that you stay safe, stay connected, and enjoy these moments that you're spending with your family. And remember, we're all here for you, and we are going to continue to work our hardest to make sure you have the best program to come back to in September. Take care and be sure to watch. There's a surprise coming your way.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. The Air Cadet League of Canada has created an award to recognize continuous meritorious cadet service of at least 4 years by deserving air cadets. A bar and rosette is added to the medal for each subsequent year of service. This year, we have one cadet receiving their service medal. This year's recipient is Warrant Officer Second Class Aidan Lafferty. We also have one cadet receiving their first bar or rosette, meaning 5 years of cadet service. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Cody Clays. The Royal Canadian Legion Cadet Medal of Excellence is awarded in recognition, for individual endeavors in citizenship that meet or enhance the aims and objectives of the cadet movement. The medal is presented to us by Branch 62 of the Royal Canadian Legion in Sarnia. This year's recipient is Flight Sergeant Tyler Henderson. At this time, we'd like to invite our reviewing officer to present the Lord Strathcona Medal.
The origins of the Strathcona Foundation date back to 1909. Lord Strathcona, then the High Commissioner for Canada in London, England, wished to improve the physical and intellectual capabilities of youth by encouraging habits of self-discipline, good citizenship, and patriotism. To this end, he created the foundation bearing his name. In 1923, a medal was struck and awarded to the most deserving cadet in each corps. The medal is the highest award that can be granted to a cadet. The recipient was singled out amongst peers by outstanding performance and a personal involvement in the community. This year's recipient of the Lord Strathcona Medal is Warrant Officer First Class Krista Bassett.
Thank you, sir. Technical. There we go. This concludes the presentation section of today's ceremony. I'd like to invite our reviewing officer, Lieutenant Naval Robert Parker, to address those in attendance.
Commanding officer, officers and staff, cadets of the squadron, volunteers, and parents. It is a distinct privilege and pleasure to be able to address you today. And while I wish we could be gathered together for this very special occasion, the events of the past few months have made that impossible. However, thanks to technology, here we are. First, I want to thank all of you for being part of the cadet program. To be a cadet means you've committed yourself to an organization that requires much from each of you. You're required to do things that your friends don't understand and conduct yourselves in ways that are often contrary to your peers. The fact that you wear a uniform and speak in a language that is uniquely different, understood only to those who are in the cadet world, sets you apart. What I'd like to talk to you about today is gratitude, being thankful. Gratitude forces us to stop and engage directly with people. True gratitude comes from the heart, and it is expressed in a way that not only changes the person receiving it, but changes the one expressing it. Your life is forever changed when you are truly grateful. All too often, this world concentrates on the self-fulfillment of our own desires and wants, the individual being more important than the group. We're not encouraged to give back or to be grateful or to just say thank you. We are hooked to our phones and our social pages. Success is no longer gauged by how many people interact with you, but how many likes you get on your Facebook page or how many followers you have on your Twitter account. Devices, phones, tablets, video games, they become more important than people. This is where the cadet world comes in, and it creates, this is where Cadets comes in, and it creates a world for all of you that's so very different from the one outside of it. This program forces you to interact and relate with people at a level that technology cannot. Its rewards are not likes or followers, but rank and responsibility. It offers opportunities that are not available anywhere else. If we were together, I would ask you this question. Is there a high school in your area that gives you a chance to fly planes, be a part of a drill and ceremonial guard, or become a fitness instructor? All of this happens with a very large group of officers, civilian instructors, and volunteers. And it's where the gratitude comes into play. All of these people take time out of their lives, give up their summers to staff annual cadet training centers, and conduct year-round fundraising so that you can make the most of your time as a cadet. Most of these dedicated people already have busy lives, but still find time to dedicate themselves to you. So I'm going to ask you to do one thing when we can all meet together in person. I want you to thank your officers. I want you to thank your civilian instructors. But more importantly, I want you to thank all of those who volunteer their time, those who help with fundraising, help out at camps and training weekends, and let them know that you are grateful for all they do so that you can be your best as a cadet. Thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this event. For those who are aging out, may your future be full of new possibilities. For those who are returning in the fall, you have an excellent example to follow as you step into new leadership roles. Don't forget the lessons that those who are leaving have taught you. Thank you again, and best of luck in the year to come. Sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Well said. So change the slide here. Here we go. In the Air Cadet program, the civilian counterpart of the Department of National Defense is the Air Cadet League of Canada. The partnership between these two organizations have helped create and maintain this excellent program. We'd like to now play a message from Mr. Sid Thompson.
Good afternoon, cadets, parents, guests, and 44 Squadron officers. For those that don't know me, my name's Sid Thompson, and presently I'm a governor with the Ontario Provincial Committee of the Air Cadet League of Canada. On behalf of the Ontario Provincial Committee, I formally congratulate you on the occasion of your annual cadet review for the year 2020. This has been a most interesting and unique year. None like it has ever happened before. And I thank you, the cadets, for your patience, and certainly Captain Mainville and his officers for stepping up and stepping out, certainly out of your comfort zone, to help and guide the cadets through this pandemic. I've enjoyed a long association with 44 Squadron. When I was younger, I served in uniform as a CIC officer in the position of training officer and supply officer, and later on and the civilian side with the sponsoring committee with many positions ending as the chairperson. And I pass that responsibility on to Mrs. Melody Gibson and her capable and competent SSC members. And I witnessed the Sarnia Moose Lodge coming on as our brand new sponsor. 44 Squadron, past, present, and future, is near and dear to me. I've valued and appreciated 44 Squadron's efforts to maintain the program, including the invitation I received to record this message for the annual review. And I'm asking, do you know why I've enjoyed my long association with 44 Squadron? It's you, the cadets. I believe that all the cadets of 44 Squadron are special. Every single one of you cadets are valuable and worthwhile, and most of all, have the potential to be successful. It's my mission to encourage and help facilitate that successful cadet journey. I think all of you are an excellent investment of my time and my effort, and I know that others feel similarly. Even though the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the 2020 cadet year, we'll all remember this time for the challenges and experiences it brought and how we and others around us adapted. Take the best and learn from the rest. New cadets and experienced cadets, congratulations on completing this year. Someday you'll be telling the story. Remember when? Because these are interesting times, be confident and optimistic. Adapt and overcome. To all of you, on behalf of myself and the OPC President, Dan Hutt, and Elizabeth Bainbridge, Regional Director for Wing 11 and 12, and your Squadron Director, have a safe summer and see you in September. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. At the squadron level, the Air Cadet League is represented by the sponsoring committee. Without their support, the squadron would not be able to participate in as many activities, nor carry out such an extensive training program. We would now like to play a message from our sponsoring committee chairperson, Ms. Melody Gibson, to address those in attendance.
Thank you, Officer Cadet Hemstreet. Good evening, everyone. When I pictured how the 2019-2020 year would end, I would never have imagined it would be live from my office. But the show must go on, and the 44 Sarnia Imperial Air Cadet Squadron is now in its 78th year. And I would imagine this is not the first time our squadron has been presented with unprecedented and difficult situations. So bravo to each and every one of you who has joined us here today, or may be joining to watch the recorded version. None of this would be possible tonight without many helping hands and a great deal of dedication from the CO, his staff, and our cadets, especially the senior cadets. And while we're all gathered here together to congratulate all of the hard work each cadet has given over the course of their training year, this also presents an opportunity for recognizing that there are many spokes to this wheel. The CO and his staff and civilian volunteers continually work to build a stronger and better squadron. Your sponsoring committee cannot thank you enough. Our 44 parents show their dedication month after month, day after day, by getting their cadets to the hall, by helping with fundraisers and dinners, by reminding and encouraging the cadets to get onto those Google Classroom courses, and so much more. Thank you for all that you do, and enjoy every single moment that your young cadet has in this program, because in a blink of an eye, they are suddenly standing there as a flight sergeant or a WO2 experiencing their last ACR. Our Air Cadet League partners, Mr. Thompson, Mrs. Bainbridge, Mr. Barrell, this sponsoring committee and squadron are eternally grateful for your wisdom and your dedication. To our community partners and our donors, we are indebted to you for helping us to continue financially supporting this incredible program. Please, everyone, take a look at the program and see the complete listing of all of the important people and businesses that help your squadron. I am excited to share that Mr. Ken Hall will be sharing a video with us after this speech to showcase the incredible donation from Enbridge in memory of Dean Bass. And certainly last but not least is your squadron sponsoring committee. I would like to take a brief moment to express how lucky 44 is to have such a focused and determined SSC. They volunteer countless hours to ensure we have sufficient funds. They continue to maintain and greet parents and build a community relationship. As well, we try and strive to find new and fun activities to raise money at 44. Thank you, Darren, Ree, Cameron, Carlos, Robin, Francesca, Dan, Melinda, Terry. Without you, we could not achieve all of this. And to all of the cadets, you were presented with a choice tonight. We applaud you for showing up and for continuing and completing this training year. You are all such an inspiration, and you give all the adults here such confidence and excitement for all of your futures, not just here at 44, but for the lives that you will lead. We are all so very proud of you. Together, we've all created the wheel that makes 44 amazing and continues to move forward to an even brighter future. Take care, all of you, and I hope you have a safe and pleasant summer, and we are very excited to see you again in the fall.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. Here we go. So at this time, I'd like to present the video from Mr. Ken Hall from Edge about the Dean Bass Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening, Air Cadets, officers, and family members. My name is Ken Hall, and I'm the Senior Advisor of Community Engagement at Enbridge Pipelines here in Sarnia. On behalf of the employees at Enbridge, it's my pleasure to be with you here tonight to celebrate your accomplishments and to share our encouragement and support for your participation in the Air Cadet program here in Sarnia Lambton. I would like to briefly share with you a few words about the Enbridge Dean Bass Memorial Scholarship, an annual $5,000 grant to help cadets at the 44 Sarnia Imperial Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron pursue flight training and pilot certification. Dean Bass was born to fly. He logged more than 20,000 hours over 4 decades, including 20 years with Enbridge, patrolling our pipeline right-of-way in Eastern Canada and the US Upper Midwest while living here in Sarnia, Ontario. For more than 40 years, from the moment he earned his pilot's license in 1974 to his sudden passing on October 29, 2018, Dean was known for his resourcefulness, his dedication, and his passion for flying. During his long career, Dean brought charisma, professionalism, and unbridled joy to his work, as well as mentoring expertise for those who wanted to earn their wings. In fact, there are several flying professional pilots today who owe their decision to enter aviation to Dean Bass. If anyone approached Dean with questions about flying, he always found time to talk to them, to provide advice, guidance, and simply show them the helicopter that he loved so much. His enthusiasm was truly contagious. To commemorate Dean's extraordinary life and career, Enbridge has established the Dean Bass Memorial Scholarship. It is our hope that this financial support will develop the love of aviation in our young people. Dean would be very proud and very pleased with the scholarship, and Enbridge is very proud to support you in his memory. From all of us at Enbridge, best of luck with your careers in aviation. We hope that each of you will fulfill your dreams and one day touch the sky. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Finally, I would like to now play a message from our commanding officer, Captain Guithem Mainville, to address those in attendance.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our virtual annual ceremonial review, or ACR as we like to call it. I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our reviewing officer, Lieutenant Parker, for being able to join us on this virtual platform. especially considering your connection with the squadron, in particular, our squadron warrant officer First Class Bassett. She's participating in her very last ACR as a cadet, and to have that family connection, I'd like to think makes it more special for both you and she. And I really appreciate that you were able to find a way to join us virtually. The successes of our squadron, much of which we just acknowledged during the presentation portion tonight, would not be possible without all the hard work and effort of the staff that work with the squadron. I'd like to take a few moments to acknowledge them. We have our Deputy Commanding Officer, Captain Laura Shan. We have our Training Officer, Lieutenant Joe Card, and his assistant, Training Officer, Ms. Alita Jansen. We have our Administration Officer, Officer Cadet Jonathan Hemstreet, our Supply Officer, Officer Cadet Arlen Lafferty, and a whole host of civilian volunteers who have helped in so many ways. I can't possibly list them all. Their names and their primary support roles are listed in our ACR program, which I have uploaded on our squadron website that you can view at your leisure. Parents, I definitely want to thank you for your encouragement and efforts in getting your children to be involved in our program and to remain involved in our program. We're hoping that come the fall, when we can resume face-to-face training, that you will continue to support this experience with your cadets, with your children. Lastly, of course, I would like to thank the cadets, especially this year, for being with us and working with us as we transition from normal training to COVID-19 training. And I say that the activities and engagement opportunities that the senior cadets and staff put together, was always just to let you know that we're still thinking of you, and we're hoping that you'll continue to want to be part of our program and join us again in the fall, hopefully, as normal as possible, face to face. I'm going to end it off here, as I've said all that I can at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Graduating cadets. There comes a time in every cadet's career when he or she must leave the squadron. When a cadet leaves after they've completed all 5 years, all 5 levels of training, they are considered graduates of the program. This evening, we have 4 individuals participating in their last annual ceremonial review as a cadet. This year, they are Flight Sergeant Ahern Quinton, Flight Sergeant Clays, 1 Officer Second Class Cornelius, and 1 Officer First Class Bassett. You are not leaving 44 Squadron when you graduate. The Royal Canadian Air Cadets and 44 will always be with you. You are part of alumni of over 1 million Air Cadets since 1941, who have demonstrated that with dedication, motivation, and self-discipline, you can achieve any goal. We wish all of you the absolute best in all of your future endeavors. At this time, I'd like to take a moment and share a few videos from our cadets.
I enjoyed most about being a warrant officer second class at 44 was the relationships I was able to form with our younger cadets while still being able to work with an amazing senior leadership team. I also appreciated the freedom that allowed me to work both with our squadron and at our flying site, allowing me to both work with the gliding part of the cadet program and the squadron part. Think about what I'll miss most about cadets. It's very hard to narrow it down because there's so many things that I will miss. So I chose a top 3 which I will share with you. My first is teaching lessons. I enjoy teaching lessons so much. It's amazing being able to share with the younger cadets and seeing how happy they are to learn and the initiative that they take. The second thing that I'm going to miss is the FTXs. It's so amazing to be able to go out with the squadron and some of my best friends and basically have a camping trip where you get to learn some amazing skills. What you do on FTXs changes so much throughout the years, but no matter what it is, it's an amazing time and I'll miss them so much. The third thing that I'm going to miss is gliding. I had to put this on the list. It is such an amazing experience. When I get to see the cadets come out and take people for their first flights ever, it's just an experience that I'll never forget, and I'm going to miss it so dearly. When I think of my best memories in cadets, again, it's so difficult to narrow it down. So I've chosen a top 2. And both of them do involve gliding. However, don't worry, one of them is with the squadron. So my top 2 best memories is flying my mom as my first familiarization flight. It was an amazing feeling not only to pass the checkout, but to be able to share that experience with my mother was something that I'll never forget. And my other favorite memory from in cadets was just from this past year when our squadron came out to the gliding site and I was able to take some of our own cadets for flights. Being able to share that with the squadron and give back was such an amazing experience. Some words of encouragement for the squadron. I know that right now things aren't how we wish that they would be. I know that I wish that my last annual could be in person, and I hope that you all wish that you could be there too. However, I think that we need to look forward to next year. I can't wait to come back and visit the squadron and see you guys grow even more than I have this year. It's going to be amazing coming back and seeing all your smiling faces and see the amazing things that you guys can do throughout your cadet careers and onwards.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I guess it has been a while since I've seen a lot of you. And just in case you forgot, I'm WO2 Joshua Gibson, and I am so happy that I was a part of 44 Squadron. And I've been asked recently to give you just a few words of encouragement while we're all dealing with this crazy thing we call COVID-19. And I guess this first piece of advice that I want to give you is that this doesn't have to be a waste. Even though things are crazy out there, we don't have to just sit around and wait for everything to be okay again. If we just wake up every day and we try to do a little bit of good, it's going to equal up to a whole lot of good in the end. So even if you wake up and you make your bed one day, or you walk your dog or whatever pets you have, or maybe you clean the kitchen just to be real nice, it'll be really good in the long run. And the second piece of advice I'd like to give you is something that I learned through my 6 years in the cadet program. And that's the difference between a good person and a great person. And it's only 5 seconds. It only takes 5 seconds for you to make a decision, to dedicate yourself to it, and take that first step to accomplishing your goal. So every day, just treat things in a 5-second degree. Just think about it, dedicate yourself to it, and just perform that task, so you can all be the great leaders that we're training you to be. Have a good time and enjoy the rest of your summer.
My most fond memory in the Air Cadet program would probably be the 75th anniversary March break trip to Ottawa. All of the things that they had planned were super fun. Like, I still have this Cosmonaut mug from a good 3-4 years ago. All of the things that weren't planned that me and the other cadets got up to still make stories and memories that I tell people about today. So it's had a really, really big impact on my life. To wrap it all up, some words of encouragement. All I gotta say is eventually everything will get back to normal. You'll be able to see your friends again. Just keep on chugging, I promise.
My favorite memory from cadets was 3 years ago. We were doing power familiarization flights with the squadron, and on the last flight of the last day, the pilot said to the final group to go up, which I was in, "Who wants to fly the plane?" So I rose my hand and I got to fly the plane all around to Corunna and Brigden and all the way back. To this day, it's one of the greatest experiences of my life, and you all could probably get a similar experience if you stick with cadets, which I think you all really should do.
My favorite memory from cadets is when we went to the band clinic last year. I enjoyed working with cadets from my skill level and from higher skills who all had the same interests. Some words of encouragement I could tell you as your sergeant is you can do anything for 10 seconds, whether that be hold your breath or sit at home by yourself during quarantine. Just, you can do anything for 10 seconds.
To be honest, one of my favorite memories so far has been to actually get to know everybody in the cadet squadron and see what they enjoyed the most, and then go off to the summer camps and meet even more people. So I guess it's more of the social interaction that I enjoy the most about cadets, getting to learn the different skills other people have and using that to help improve your own skill, and then helping others improve their skill with the skills that you've learned. As some words of encouragement, I'd say just keep pushing forward, because I just kept going on even when I thought everything was going downhill. Like, my uniform wasn't the best at first, and now look at it. I can shine boots perfectly fine. Turned out it was just boots, and well, now I'm perfectly fine as a sergeant, and I'm actually getting the hang of everything else. So all you gotta do is keep pushing forward. Now I hope we all see each other later on, maybe all together at the squadron again.
I've got a smile on my face and I've got four walls around me. I've got the sun in the sky, all the water surround me. Oh, you know, yeah, I win now, sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say it's alright. Jeannie seems on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. Oh, you know, she might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I said, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. And it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. You know, it's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith that your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, wait, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say, I say, wait, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of
Together.
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 Because together we will get through this, and together we will reunite and see each other again. Awesome. Thank you, cadets. At this time, we'd like to play a message from our War Officer First Class, Krista Bassett.
Hey there, cadets. It's been such a crazy year. I think we can all agree. Something we've really never seen before. But even though we couldn't see each other, I'm really impressed by how we really made the most of this year, even if it was just virtually. I want to remind you guys that even when there are big challenges like this, there are still lots of opportunities to grow and try new things. So don't be afraid of those new opportunities. I want you to remember to stay positive and never give up on those big plans that you have, even when it's really tough. I hope you guys have an amazing summer and stay safe.
Thank you, Officer Bassett. Well said. So everybody, this concludes this evening's ceremony. On behalf of the staff, sponsors, and cadets, thank you for joining us virtually on our 78th annual ceremonial review. Please visit our squadron website, www.44air.org, to access a digital copy of our annual ceremonial review program. The website will also keep you updated on all future events. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Godspeed.